Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? Episode number 67 today. And Marcus, the forecaster, already clapping. Yep, our guest is back for episode number 67. Marcus, the forecaster, is here and ready to rock and roll. Oh, yes, he has returned. We are happy to have him back. We've wanted him for quite a while, and here he is. Emerald's Explosion is available on thesportstuff.com and on iTunes. Thank you, each and every one of us, for listening to this show. So how's it going today, Marcus?
It's going good. It's going good. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely. Great to have you on board. It is my pleasure, as always. I mean, it just makes this show a million times better. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today anyway, to start, right? We're not going to basically just go into game reviews and say Kevin Love at 28 points and 17 rebound type of deal. We're going to basically talk Timberwolves. I mean, that's what we do best, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
That's
what I do best.
Oh, yeah. That's what I do enjoy. Or so we say. We will both like to say we do that. Shucks, what do we get into today? Ricky Rubio, Kevin Love being an all-star. Some crazy rumor brought up. We'll get to that later. Well, not a rumor, but idea brought up by an article posted on my Facebook page by Nate Lindholm. We appreciate that very much. Hope he's listening. All kinds of stuff to get to. Trade rumors, play of the team, ideas for the future. A possible idea brought up by Marcus the forecaster as well. Should the Timberwolves not keep Ricky Rubio? Indeed. So where do we start? Shucks. Where do we start? I guess. Shucks. I mean,
Rubio.
I guess we're going to start with Rubio because, remember, just a week or two ago, I ranted about it on episode number 66. He went, supposedly, someone from his camp said he wanted to go to New York, Boston, or Miami. Well, Miami's out because they have nothing to give us.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you say that?
Nothing.
Like, what's Miami going to give the Wolves?
Bosh.
Well, but yeah, see, it's like they would never give us one of the three, so if they're not going to give us one of the three, then you know what, Miami, just enjoy your South Beach parties, okay? That's about it, isn't it? Is Boston going to give us Rajon Rondo?
No.
Yeah, so why do they want Rubio? So it's like, what are they smoking over there in the Rubio camp? It's like, what are they smoking? I just have no idea what the heck to think about them. So that comes down to New York, and well, you kind of brought up an interesting possibility with that. New York, possibly Raymond Felton.
Yeah.
I mean, he's having a hell of a year, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
At least statistically, yeah.
Yeah, I think that New York is the only one that can come up with a decent package out of the three places that he wants to go to.
Yeah, and New York is the one that constantly gets brought up no matter what, too. It's always the Knicks. And, well, if they want to give up Raymond Felton, I mean, they would have to get Rubio, I would think. What were some of the other ideas you brought up? I mean, I remember Shucks brought up possibly packaging Pekovic over there.
Yeah, if they want him so bad, well, I mean, we need I believe we need a point guard who can score. And I'm not sure, but I don't think that Rubio can do that. He's not showing that he's a scorer, so.
Yeah, so far he really hasn't. I mean, he's hit a couple of threes here and there, but nothing really to tell you he's going to be a scoring machine in the league. And Shucks, is he still not starting for his team over in Spain, if I remember correctly? It's been
I'm not sure. Last I heard, he was a starter because of some injuries, but still, you would think that you would hear a lot more than what we have to go online to find.
Yeah, it gets very confusing. It really is. You don't even know what to expect. Of course, the European stats are really the statistics for players in this league, or that come to this league from Europe, are very deceiving. You know, like not Ramon Sessions, wrong guy, Brendan Jennings. Yep. Yeah. His numbers were like 2 points, 1 assist, pretty much in Europe, and then he comes to the league and for a little while looked like Gilbert Arenas. His shooting percentage really sucks, but still a lot better than what his European statistics would indicate. So the question is, can Rubio do that? Hard to say.
I think that I think he's overrated.
Rubio?
Yeah.
At this point, I guess so. I mean, shucks, it's like the Kobe's and such are all raving about him, yet at the same time, his style of play, I'm not sure how well it would translate into the league. He takes a lot of risks.
Yeah.
He really does.
Just too many highlight passes, and he gets turnovers.
Mm-hmm. And we get a lot. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we definitely don't need another point guard who's turnover prone.
Yeah, I mean, shucks, that brings you over to Johnny Flynn. It brings you to Luke Ridnour, who's, again, about as clutch as Kevin Garnett, and so is Johnny Flynn. Neither one of them are clutch. Shucks, it's kind of like we're point guard central right here, starting off this episode number 67 of Timberwolves Explosion. Turnovers. My God.
Way too many.
Way too many turnovers on this basketball team, especially at the point guard position. Johnny Flynn the other night, now again, we can kind of go into particular games here and there, but Johnny Flynn had a 7-assist night against those Houston Rockets, which is a very exciting win for this Timberwolves team. They could not beat the Rockets for the life of them for years, and they finally beat the Rockets the other night. Johnny Flynn looks like a point guard, making all these nice dishes, but then he's turning the ball over about as much as he's getting assists. I mean, what did he have? 7 assists and 6 turnovers.
Yeah.
A little out of control, I'd have to say. And what's funny is you look at some of this stuff, like Ramon Sessions having a 13-assist game in their little 25th straight loss over in Cleveland. What do you think of the Cavs? I mean, just like a little bit off-topic thing.
I don't think of them.
Yeah, that's about it. 25 losses in a row. 25 losses in a row. Pretty disgusting. As we bring up the line from the Houston game, shucks, Telfair, very solid in this game. I mean, from what I got to see, very solid.
Yeah, 6 of 9 versus Flynn, 7 of 14.
Yeah, Flynn, well, field goal percentage not the worst, but it's the turnovers especially. Shoot, both of them were actually pretty good from the floor in general, but Love was the worst shooter, which is funny, but go ahead.
Yeah, I see Love is 6 of 14, but he went to the line.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, Flynn 7 of 14, he didn't get to the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
So those were just open shots that he missed.
Mm-hmm. And driving to the basket, all willy-nilly, like always, getting blocked, or trying to make a crazy dish that winds up in somebody else's lap, the wrong guy. Oh, boy. And Corey Brewer had a pretty nasty turnover down the stretch. He had 3 in the game overall. Love had 3, granted, but Brewers were, really noticeable because they were pathetic. He just dribbled the ball in front of him, and he absolutely... I mean, the ball just got taken right out of his hand. It's like, what is this, kindergarten? Yeah. Brewer frustrates the crap out of me. So, yeah, we're kind of, in a way, reviewing the most recent game before we get into other topics. It's like, might as well. Wesley Johnson and Wayne Ellington, both of them really, really stood out in the game last night.
Yeah, I was really excited to see Johnson starting at small forward, finally.
You got to see what Wesley Johnson's all about. We got to see it because he's been whenever he gets a chance to start at shooting guard. And what does he do last night? What did he do last night?
4 blocks.
He got 4 blocks. Wesley Johnson got 4 blocks. Field goal percentage, once again, spectacular. Over 50%. 6 of 11. You got it like that. You really do. And then a guy that I just savaged on the recent show because he was writing me of Rashad McCants, another North Carolina product who went from a smart, high IQ player who looked like he knew what he was doing and a sharpshooter, turned into a McCants earlier this year, but shucks, Wayne Ellington reborn last night? My goodness. 18 points off the bench, 25 minutes. Not bad. 6 of 10. 6 of 10.
I think he's our only shooting guard.
The only pure,
the
pure old-fashioned shoot the ball and it goes in type of shooting guard. That's kind of what he is because Brewer's not. I mean,
Brewer's a small forward to me. He's a small forward.
He's a small forward, and he's a wannabe. Like he wishes he was. And God forgive me for mentioning this name, because he's more important in the game of basketball, but he's like a wannabe Malik Sealy. God rest his soul, Malik Sealy, who was a wonderful defensive player who could hit shots here and there too. Corey Brewer is kind of a wannabe of that, and I don't see him ever becoming that. The guy, you want to call him a shutdown defender, but mostly he's a gambler. Like Paul Allen on KFAN today said it.
Yeah.
He said basically what I said on episode 66. The guy makes ridiculous mental mistakes defensively, and when you're supposed to be a defensive stopper, and that's the result, I mean, well, I can't handle that. I just can't.
I wouldn't have Brewer as a starter.
Yeah, why are they starting him? Wesley Johnson should be starting. Granted, at the small forward.
Yeah.
But then that's where it gets really confusing because you have Beasley and all that. That's the crummy part. I mean, it's like you wonder that. Oh boy, it reeks of more changes are coming.
Yeah, because if Johnson at small forward can produce the way he's done now, or even or do more next game,
potentially, yeah, next game, maybe next year, especially.
Yeah, I think Beasley might be a 6-man, or we just might trade him.
Or we just might trade him. Yeah. And maybe aforementioned, if Kevin Love possibly gets traded, maybe he doesn't want to stay. Like, we'll get into that later. That'll be a really interesting topic when we get to Kevin Love. That will be really interesting, so stay tuned out there, those of you on that one. Really, everybody played pretty dang good in this game. Like, shucks, it's funny. On paper, in a small, funny way, it's almost like Kevin Love was the least efficient player. Okay, I'll say Pekovic was because, well, it's Pekovic. But, I mean, shoot, Tolliver had 10 rebounds in only 22 minutes. Just ridiculous numbers. Yeah. Telfair extremely efficient in 16 and a half minutes. My goodness, I can't believe how well I'm speaking of Telfair this year. And who's the best point guard on this team right now, Marcus?
Telfair.
Yeah, I mean, like I was kind of cracking about episode 66, imitating Marcus the forecaster. Telfair, how he's the best point guard on the team, and right now, I can't disagree with that. Unfortunately, now this obviously doesn't reflect on what Telfair is good at. He had 2 turnovers last night, but he's the best ball controller on this team.
Yeah,
he just is. Flynn is the worst.
And for this team, I wouldn't really put too much value on assist numbers.
Yeah, it's like you want to, but you can't because it's the triangle.
Yeah.
And the triangle's more, it's ball movement. It's not ball control as much as you'd like. Or let's say not ball control, but quarterback. Like a guy like, we'll say, Chris Paul or even like a Steve Nash wouldn't really particularly fit in the system. You wouldn't really maximize what you can get out of him, we'll say, in this type of system.
Yeah.
It's almost like you need a shooting guard type of point guard. Yeah.
Or a shooting guard who can catch it and shoot it.
Yeah, kind of like Ty Lawson. Who's kind of, I don't know. Yep. I'm sorry to bring that up. I could see both of us hung our heads at that thought. Ty Lawson is the perfect point guard for the system. Yep. Never going to say that forever. It sucks how that turned out. Flynn, you wished he was, but no, he's a penetrator, and well, I don't know. I mean, he's not Kobe Bryant. I mean, if you have to be like a Kobe Bryant really to be a stud shooting guard, or I mean, yeah, you have to be a stud shooting guard basically to be a penetrator in the triangle, and I'm not sure the Timberwolves have that yet. Not yet. OJ Mayo. Okay, no, that was another potential idea. Anything else you'd like to bring out from this game? In particular?
No, I think it's pretty much covered.
Pretty much covered. Yeah, that was a pretty detailed talk there. That was pretty cool. So, I mean, we pretty much covered the point guard situation. Right now, Telfair's the best guy. We didn't even bring up Ridnour. Anything? I mean, Ridnour, what can you say?
I think this, the last game, proved that, some guys stepped it up, like Ellington.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he deserves more minutes, especially at a shooting guard.
Yeah, if he's gonna be efficient like that, why not?
Yeah,
because he's got talent. There's no doubt the talent is there.
Yeah, with Johnson's defense and scoring, it questions Beasley's value here.
In a way, it can a little bit. I mean, Beasley has been inconsistent this year. I mean, the guy can score at will sometimes, but sometimes it's like, the old 6 for 14, 3 for 13, You wonder what 5 for 15.
Yeah.
If Beasley can be consistent and be a 20-plus a game scorer, then there you go. But is he?
I don't think so. I hope that he can be. But I think now, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. It's possible. It's possible.
The talent's there.
Yeah.
The talent is there. The question is, can the result be consistently with Michael Beasley? It's like we're kind of still wondering. I think he certainly has time to blossom. I mean, Kevin Love, last year, you would have never guessed what he is becoming this season. It has just been spectacular. Just spectacular. So, yes, we have the topics in front of us to talk about, but the order we're going to get to them is we're kind of going on the fly with that. So bear with us, folks. So should we go with Kevin Love first, or would you like to get into those trade rumors?
Let's talk about Kevin.
It's time for Kevin Love, ladies and gentlemen. I was pretty much thinking that was where we were going to go because Kevin Love, ladies and gentlemen, well, at first we thought he was snubbed by the All-Star team, the coaches, whatever, all that good stuff. Certainly you're going to get snubbed by the fans. There's no doubt about it. But with a certain center from China not available because he's going to be hurt forever, it seems like, unfortunately. I mean, I'm sorry for him for that, but the All-Star team needed a replacement, and a very deserving one was selected. Kevin Love. What were your thoughts when Kevin Love got named All-Star?
My first thought was, now he's going to demand a lot of money.
There's that too. I mean, shucks. I remember last year I was hinting at, when he was last summer, when it's like, he was like the Wolves or whatever, don't respect him as much as the Olympic team, but he's open to an extension, and I figured, okay, 50 to 60 might be enough. Well, we could be talking 86 range, unfortunately. Yeah. We could be talking 86 million the way this is looking. Wouldn't surprise me. But that's part of it. But also, I mean, the guy deserves to be there, doesn't he? The All-Star game. Yeah, Kevin Love is a legit All-Star. I mean, he's not. Now, Zerbiak, the one year he went, he deserved it, and he could have easily gone again. I remember that the year the Wolves traded Wally to Boston. He could have easily been an All-Star that year, too. They like to call him in the Star Tribune. They called Wally a one-year wonder and all that good stuff. Tom Gugliotta, one-year wonder. Both of those guys could have been a multi-year All-Stars. Maybe not 10 years or even 3, but they could have been 2 years. Kevin Love, I mean, I got to think he's going to be there more than twice. He's going to be at the All-Star game more than twice, just, if he stays healthy. And he doesn't lose his head somehow, some way. I think Kevin Love... Huh?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yeah. Fingers crossed, stay healthy, all that good stuff. Knock on wood, as you can hear it. With paper in the way, sorry. Gotta love that. I mean, Kevin Love, what can you say? I mean, would you, like I said earlier, I'm going to say it again. Sorry if I'm repeating myself like a broken record, but could you have ever guessed he's going to be this good? No. He's like Moses Malone. He's like a Moses Malone that doesn't play defense. He's a Dennis Rodman that doesn't play defense, he tries to. He's not terrible, but he's below average, we'll say.
Yes, and when I watched the last game, I remember, I forgot which game it was, but Darko didn't put his hands up during the last seconds of the game, even though we won the game. Mm-hmm. And whether the guy made the shot or not, we still would have won. But Love jumped up and just started yelling at Darko because he didn't put his hands up.
He did it again?
Well, no, it was a game a while ago.
Oh, that was that game. Yeah, the Bucks game. I was going to say he did it again.
And during the Rockets game, I saw several times Love, and he didn't put his arms up to at least try to defend the guy.
So kind of hypocritical a little.
Yeah.
Huh? Uh-oh. That's not good.
Didn't even attempt to try it. Mm-hmm. And, I thought that was,
a little hypocritical?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. It's like, he still has some kinks to work out, that's for sure. Especially, not just defensively, but mentally. Mentally, sometimes he's not all there yet, and part of that is his youth, obviously, but part of it is just, I guess it's attitude, entitlement, stuff like that, unfortunately. Yeah. It comes with the territory, unfortunately. But certainly, again, a deserving all-star. But no, there is definitely, there's always issues. There's always going to be some issues with Kevin Love. I mean, I don't think he's as bad as Christian Laettner, but he's not as team-oriented as, we'll say, dare I say, Al Jefferson. Even though Al Jefferson had kinks in his arm with two teammates at times, he was constantly screaming at Randy Foye and stuff. That wasn't always good either.
What I really hope is, like Jefferson, Love says, you know what? Even though I know I deserve a lot more money for the team's sake, I'll take less. Mm-hmm. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't.
Unfortunately.
I don't see Kevin Love going in the Al Jefferson direction when he took 65. I mean, Jefferson just straight out said, "I don't deserve a max salary." So, when they offered 65, he took it. Period. And that was refreshing. That's the word I was trying to search for. That was very refreshing. I mean, how many NBA players would just straight up say, "Well, I don't deserve the max"? So,
not many.
Yeah, like 1 out of 10. Well, not even 1 out of 100.
Yeah, they'll say, if you're offering it, I'm taking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Kevin Love. Yeah, I got to think it's going to be Rudy Gay money. We'll say. Remember how Rudy Gay? I was like, I don't want to give him $80 million, but if I'm going to say this right here and right now. Some of you might roll your eyes. Some of you might say, yeah, hell yeah. I'm sure it's going to be kind of a, north and south thing with everybody. There's no middle ground with this. Who would you take between Kevin Love and Rudy Gay if you had to sign one of them to $80 million? If you had to pick only one for $80 million.
I wouldn't pick either one of them, maybe.
You wouldn't pick either one for $80 million?
Yes, because Love he can rebound, but at the same time, there's no defense there.
That's the issue.
And for Gay...
The Gay boy. Sorry.
I mean, I can't say too much, but the games that I have seen with him, I think he doesn't deserve that amount either. That's just me.
I mean, Rudy Gay, giving him $80 million... I've heard from multiple people that call themselves experts in this league, the Hollingers and the Ryan Russillos, who I love Ryan Russillo, by the way, NBA Inside podcast. I forget how to say the name. I don't know why I'm saying it wrong. I should know it. Hollingers he's well respected, but he makes a lot of weird statements. I'm not sure if it was Hollinger or Ryan Russillo, but they're like, why is everybody so down on Rudy Gay getting the $80 million? It's like, yeah, it's a lot, but he still deserves it. I don't think so.
Yeah, on the Grizzlies right now, I would give more money to Zach Randolph.
You think so?
I think that he does more than Gay does.
Statistically, he definitely does. Yeah. At least statistically, and scoring is the name of the game, regardless if you like it or not. Scoring is the name of the game. Defense is in there as well. I mean, I think Zach's I think Zach and Rudy Gay are both defensive liabilities at some point.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay, you certainly don't hear about how great of a defender he is. Well, kind of leave it at that. Kevin Love, I guess right now, though, if I had to give it to either Rudy Gay or Kevin Love, I would lean in the Kevin Love direction. And obviously not saying that as a homer, it's just he does stuff that you just don't see in this league. You don't see it. You don't see a guy getting that many. Wow, that's an old picture. You don't see a guy. We just saw Ray Allen get drafted by the Timberwolves. By the way,
I had standing right next to him.
Yeah, that was painful to see. We just saw it in the background. So, excuse me, sorry for the distraction. That was very painful, and I'm going to leave that on air because it's interesting for you to hear. Wow, that was interesting. Excuse me. Where do I go?
Clip that off.
Kevin Love.
Yes, that's when I was a Bucks fan.
Yeah, that's why he's a Bucks fan, because of Ray Allen. But no, I think I would slightly lean Kevin Love because he does stuff that stands out. I mean, he leads the league in rebounding by 3 or 4 a game. That you just don't really top that right now. You get a guy who rebounds at a Dennis Rodman level, it's going to help you no matter what. Now you just hope and pray to God you can get that then the dynamic threat from the perimeter once and for all. I mean, that's what you need, the dynamic threat from the perimeter. Yeah. A Ray Allen wouldn't hurt on this team right now. A young, new Ray Allen would not hurt right now.
And there's no one out there right now that fits that like traditional shooting guard mode.
That's the crummy part, and maybe Wayne Allen. Well, not maybe, but I mean Wayne Allen is that kind of guy, but he's not the big star type of shooting guard like a Ray Allen, like a Reggie Miller. God knows who else. Steve Smith, Clyde Drexler. It just goes on and on and on. It would be nice to have one of those, wouldn't it? So with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back right after this. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, episode number 67, which, as always, a reminder for iPod users and also the Microsoft Suite and other MP3 players, so everybody gets mentioned. We're happy for you. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Yes, so before we get into the prime, and I mean the prime subject for both of us, it is mid-February, and what happens in February every year? The trade deadline. It's 14 days, 11 hours, 25 minutes, and 23 seconds away. February 24th, the trade deadline is a coming. I'm sure we'll have one more show in between then, but we're going to talk about trade talk. But really briefly, I'm sorry to do this to you guys, because I know you'd rather talk trades probably than the Target Center. But, yeah, the Target Center. Well, they've unveiled a plan, $155 million renovation to the Target Center. Well, the sad part is they haven't even talked about how it's going to be funded yet, and it's like, well, that's great then. But the good part is at least the Timberwolves agree to it, because usually when a building is going to get renovated, the team usually says, no, I want a whole new stadium, or I want a whole new building, Yeah. The Timberwolves already agreed to it before it even got put up, so that's the good part. The plan is to extend the Target Center's life for another 20 years. So, hey, I'd rather do that than build another new arena. I mean, especially with the Viking thing looming, yeah, they kind of don't have a place to play right now. That's kind of a problem, actually. They can't really play in that sugar bowl with a big hole on top. They can't really play in that thing right now. So, yeah, that kind of sucks for them. Right now, Purple Mafia is on the sportstuff.com and on iTunes. Do check it out. Minnesota Vikings podcast. Had to say that. You enjoy. But yeah, the Target Center, the renovation, kind of a cool idea. I mean, do you prefer that over a new building at the very least?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd rather go the cheaper route.
Yeah, and it looked kind of cool. Not all too much really to say though yet. That's the crummy part. We don't even know really how they're going to fund it. It looked kind of cool. They're going to make it more and more state of the art. I mean, they made some nice renovations to it back in 03, 04-ish. Remember when they put the big ring on in there, like the classic advertising ring that makes the floor look all lit up and stuff. They changed the seats, they changed the scoreboard, but now they're making huge renovations. I think they're going to open the concourse even. Make it more like XL Energy Center and Target Field and stuff where you can actually see the game while you're buying nachos. Because right now it's closed concourse.
The real renovation needs to start with the Timberwolves.
And that's the perfect segue. As always, as Marcus the Forecaster is very good at segueing things, the real renovation does belong to the Timberwolves right now. As that is one of the tough tongue twisters. It's hard to get that one out sometimes. The real renovation, there, I had to say it, does begin with the Timberwolves. And that renovation, well, we have about 2 weeks to kind of do the next step towards that. So, trade deadline. You got rumors up the yin-yang right now.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited, too. I mean, something's probably going to happen. All right. So, what do you think the odds are Anthony Randolph winds up on the Timberwolves at some point here?
Pretty big.
I think it's about 9 out of 10, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, they go to bed, like I said in episode 66. They must go to bed dreaming about Anthony Randolph in the Target Center.
I think now that I don't know. I think the Knicks they don't want to give us anything. Actually,
they might not. It kind of depends on what we're going to offer. It gets really confusing.
Yeah, I think they're asking for way too much, or else would have been done by now. I mean, if you have a player on your bench who you're not giving minutes to,
yeah,
and the coach clearly doesn't like the player,
no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
It's like pretty much anything.
You would think. I mean, like a Brian Cardinal last year for a certain center that's on the Timberwolves right now. Brian Cardinal, just kind of a throw in. What the hell, you know? Actually, we could save a couple bucks too if we do this type of piece. That's all that was. Just get rid of Darko. Bring in this guy, release him, you know, because you can, because he's at the end of his contract. And, you know, that's what you'd think, but what did they want? Brewer? They want the Utah pick, which isn't necessarily the next, you know, Shaquille O'Neal. It might be the next Lazar Hayward, because it's kind of later. But still, it's Anthony Randolph, though.
Yeah, and I know they don't owe us any favors, but come on. I mean, if you're not using a guy, let them go for someone serviceable. Like, I'll give them Kufos or Pekovic. Or
maybe just that pick. I mean, some people were even thinking that maybe just that pick, because then maybe with the 24th pick in the 2011 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Anthony Randolph. You know, you could kind of look at it that way. That's why some people, and I love imitating David Stern. There's your first David Stern imitation on this show. I love imitating that guy. That's kind of how some people could look at it as you just drew Anthony Randolph with the 24th pick. And that could end up being a good pick in that sense. He did very good on Golden State. Another topic brought on the Paul Allen show, and I'm sorry I keep bringing the same show up, but it's just, you know, it was an interesting topic they brought up. It's kind of hit and miss with these Golden State guys. You had Anthony Morrow and Anthony Tolliver. Both of them really nice numbers in Golden State. I think Tolliver's a legit piece, though. Yeah. Morrow, maybe, not really. Randolph goes to New York, and what the hell happened there? You go from a really open style to a fairly open style in New York, too. And it's like, what? It's like you hit a brick wall.
I don't know. I think there was more D'Antoni not willing to take the time to
let him develop or something. I mean, it's like, it gets strange. It's like he doesn't seem to. D'Antoni's not a really patient guy. You kind of get that sense. You kind of do. I mean, Amari Stoudemire is blowing up there, but the rest of the team, well, you got Raymond Felton doing good. Danilo Gallinari's kind of up and down. Yeah. Anthony Randolph, non-existent, and that's a team that needs some size outside of Amari Stoudemire. I mean, outside of Amari Stoudemire, it's kind of a bunch of bit players, really. When it comes to anybody, 4 or 5 position, you'd think Randolph would garner some playing time. I'm confused at how things are being handled over in New York.
At least garbage. Seeing what happened to Marbury makes me think that it's D'Antoni.
It could be. I mean, they just immediately, like, Marbury's done, dead, gone.
I don't care what you say, you're not getting minutes. I think it's that type of thing with D'Antoni.
Yeah, he basically told Marbury to burn in hell. That's basically what he told him.
Yeah, probably told the same thing to Randolph.
Probably. He told it to Darko, I know that. Yeah, so we both know that. It's bizarre. Randolph, though, yeah, he's definitely athletic. A lot of people are kind of back and forth on him. The Star Tribune is making fun of the Timberwolves about it because how he obsessed over Ricky Davis, and he turned out to be one of the biggest jackasses ever. I mean, he really did. The guy just, he had talent. He couldn't guard anybody. He didn't want to guard anybody, and whatever.
I gotta admit, I wanted to get a Ricky Davis here.
I did too. I was all for it. I mean, if I was doing Purple Mafia or, Timberwolves Explosion or Paladino Live back then, probably would have been Paladino Live early on. I would have been, Ricky Davis, yes. I mean, because we both were like that. I still remember when you called me about that deal. Yeah. You're like, Joey, have you heard the news? I still remember that. That was 5-6 years ago now? Man, time flies. 6 years ago. Man. Holy crap, that was a long time ago. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals, Wally's last stand in Minnesota. Fun times. So that's one deal there. I mean, Anthony Randolph could be a part of several moves. There's that one, I was mentioning, the Corey Brewer first-round pick. Oh, that's the one where we would get involved in the Carmelo Anthony sweepstakes. Not to get Carmelo Anthony, but a facilitator.
Yeah.
And the talk is that we're kind of the ones not pleased right now, so it's potentially we might be kind of the snag, which is funny.
Yeah.
We might be the snag because, well, we're giving up Brewer and a first pick and getting Randolph. Oh, and Eddie Curry, excuse me. That was the other piece. Eddie Curry to free up cap space. That's nice, but, we're still waiting on anybody coming here as a free agent. That's the tough part. Anything else you want to say about that rumored trade? Because that rumored trade is out there.
Oh, yeah, I definitely didn't like that. We're getting nothing for helping both teams.
Pretty much. I mean,
giving up way too much.
Yeah. I mean, the draft pick isn't the worst part, even though you want to have as many draft picks as you can. But, shucks, it's lately those late first-round picks don't amass the amount of anything. It's getting kind of frustrating, actually. You'd think they would, but rarely do they amount to anything. Any other rumors that I'm missing? I mean, there's another big, well, not a rumor, but idea, as I mentioned earlier, involving Kevin Love that Nate Lindholm posted on my page. Now, he didn't think it up. It was our columnist. We'll get to that in a sec. Were there any other rumors floating around that I'm missing?
No.
Nothing right now?
I haven't heard anything other than the Randolph.
And it's like a million different scenarios over the course of this year involving Anthony Randolph, including all the way back to the draft, when there was a time when it was going to be like the Kevin Love and a pick or whatever for Anthony Randolph once upon a time. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
How weird would that have been? Oh, my. The Wolves would be wallowing in blood right now if they made that move. They would be in a pool of blood right now. Think about that. Because look at Kevin Love and look at Anthony Randolph, at least in New York, yeah. I'm sure his numbers would have been higher here, but still. Whoa, that would have been bad.
I think the only way that we can get Randolph right now from the way the Knicks are playing hardball is if Rubio was involved.
And that could be still something going on. And pardon me for the cough. I'm sure you heard it because this crazy little microphone picks up everything. And I'm sorry if it's driving you guys nuts because you get a lot of background clutter with this thing until I either replace or repair the other one. That's been taking longer than it should.
No, I'm sure if the listeners can deal with the Timberwolves scoring,
giving up 1 million points a game.
So with their win,
their win-loss record, yeah. What are they, like 13-40 or something right now? It's been a tough, so it's like they can hopefully somewhat put up with the sound. And I apologize. It's not the worst ever, but it ain't the best. So here we go. We'll get to this really quick, and then we'll talk about your idea with Rubio and the Knicks. I remember your Rubio Knicks idea. Well, do you want to do that first, or should I get to Lindholm real quick? I could get to Lindholm real quick.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking we're going to head towards. It's a Godfather idea. Real GM. Again, Real GM. Do check out Real GM.
Yes.
That is a wonderful website. We love it. We swear by it pretty much. It's a wonderful website, the way stuff is updated. But the article posted on Real GM, the Godfather deal, I can't refuse. Kevin Love going to Oklahoma City. And no, this is not a rumor. Nothing is imminent. It's an idea. And sometimes ideas stick, and sometimes ideas never come close to happening. But it's a potential Godfather move the Wolves need to make. No, not necessarily. It's more or less that Oklahoma City needs to make is what they're trying to say. That Oklahoma City has 1 trillion pieces that could potentially help the Wolves, and then Kevin Love could be the Dennis Rodman for the Jordan Pippen thing over there in Oklahoma City. Of course, he would join Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Westbrook was his teammate at UCLA. That was a hell of a team. you might imagine. And Kevin Durant is probably the best scorer in the league right now. Just phenomenal. I mean, except for LeBron the last week. Oh, my God, LeBron. LeBron has awakened in Miami. But before I digress too much, the Godfather idea, and again, forgive me for taking forever to get to the point, the likes of Jeff Green, James Harden, did not mention Ibaka, interestingly, even though that would have been a perfect fit for the Wolves. I mean, why wouldn't you want Ibaka?
Yeah.
A shot-blocking, center? Hello? Do you think the Wolves could use that? Okay, but yeah, the Jeff Green, James Harden, there's your shooting guard, kind of, who's always out of shape looking, kind of sucks sometimes, but sometimes is clutch. James Harden. Jeff Green's a really good defensive small forward, power forward type, which I like a lot. He would help out with Beasley's deficiencies, and he can score. Chucks. Oh, Cole Aldrich. That was another idea brought up. Cole Aldrich. He's a shot-blocking guy, but he's about as athletic as Mike Holzer. No, I had to say that name. Nobody knows who that is. No, just he's about as athletic as King Hippo is on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. That's about athletic he is. And he has about as pretty a shooting form as King Hippo would, too, if he played basketball. Cole Aldrich, though, yeah, he's a shot-blocking center. Maybe an idea. Would you even consider that, though? Like all those pieces, James Harden's and such?
No.
For Kevin Love? I don't think so, either. I don't. I love Jeff Green. Now, those of you that listen to this show know how much I love Jeff Green. I love him. I talk about him all the frickin' time.
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, he's a free agent after.
We're getting real close.
Season, right?
We're getting really close to that. He's at that fourth-year point where he can sign an extension, or it's that tender thing where it's a one-year deal for like $7 million or something, or he's at that point. Kevin Love's going to be at that point next year, where Kevin Love is available for the extension now. But then you get into that fourth year and all that garbage, and it starts to get complicated by the fourth and fifth years, where it's one-year tenders or long-term extensions or a trade. It's just another one of those stupid deals, though. You finally have a star-type player. He's not a superstar necessarily, even though his numbers might indicate that. But then you trade him for all these pieces again, and it seems like every time you do that, you don't get better. I mean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
You don't really get better. You just don't. I mean, there's nobody in that group that I think is going to come into Minnesota and rock the world, you know? Do you see that happening?
No, because Harden, I think we could find another Harden in the draft.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't shown anything that, separates himself from, a future draft choice.
At this point, no. He doesn't have the special skills that make you say, wow, we need him.
Yeah.
That's the key. He doesn't have the special skills. Jeff Green has special skills. I really like Jeff Green, but still, he's kind of having a down year, though.
Yeah.
Jeff Green's taking a step back.
Green up from free agency.
And that would rock and roll, because the money is going to be there here in Minnesota. Jeff Green, if you want to fit into a team that could really use you, maybe come here as a free agent. That'd be kind of fun.
And Aldridge, to me, is proven just as much as Kufos.
As Kufos, or as one of us, maybe, stepping into a NBA locker room right now. I mean, he's not proven. No, we haven't seen anything yet. We really haven't. And my God, if you trade Kevin Love to the freaking Oklahoma City Thunder, could they not spare Ibaka? I want Ibaka. Jeff Green and Ibaka. There you go. Yeah. Then we can start talking. James Harden, I'd rather have Martell Webster than James Harden. Honestly, I mean, that might sound crazy, but then again, Wesley Johnson. I like Wesley Johnson way more than James Harden.
Well, what I would want to take from them is Ibaka, Green.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And to make up for this, give them, Utah's first, and they give us Cephalosha.
Yeah, that's the other guy, Cephalosha. I mean, perimeter defense on this team would make a huge difference. Cephalosha. That's the one that I can't believe I didn't bring that up. And that was one of the potential spare parts that you'd get in the trade. Potential, I mean, depending on how things go. Cephalosha. Yeah. If you could get, Ibaka, Cephalosha, Green, I'd be just okay, that's a good deal. and maybe throw in Brewer too, just to kind of even things out.
Yeah.
As a sweetener to say, if you give us a vodka, if you give us a vodka, we'll give you Brewer. He's a shutdown defender. He's a shutdown defender. Don't pay no attention to the times that he screws up. Just we gotta edit that out. We gotta edit that out of the video a little bit.
Yeah,
do a little editing.
That trade, then.
I would love that. That would make me very excited. Nate Lindholm responds to kind of my thoughts there when I was saying it's kind of crazy because not only, here's the part I didn't even mention yet that I wrote on the Facebook page, my Facebook page. First and foremost, Timberwolves Explosion does have a Facebook page, by the way. Go to our Facebook group, type in the search bar, Timberwolves Explosion, Minnesota Timberwolves Show, and join it. That'd be great. Excuse me for digressing again. One thing, though. See, not only the part that's scary about all that and stuff, you give up Kevin Love, you might get some pieces that can make you better. But then, what division does Oklahoma City play in again? Our division. And you potentially turn them into a dynasty, but don't we gonna want to get better? Like, why do you want to make a dynasty out of a team that's in your division?
Yeah, and again, with those players...
They'll never get better then, yeah.
I think, especially with Cephalosha, since he's mainly defense,
yes,
we would then need to address, where's the scoring coming from?
Yeah.
Because I know we'll get probably get more scoring out of Green.
Mm-hmm.
But then,
that'll go up, yeah.
Yeah, but then, now we need to scoring from other positions because if Cephalosha's a starter, now we need a scoring point guard.
Yeah,
so then we'll have to trade
Johnny Flynn, most likely. I got to think Johnny Flynn would have to go. Maybe Rubio for... Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec because I know you have a really cool idea with that one. I'll say really quick, though, Nate Lindholm's response, I'll read that, and then we can get to that Rubio idea that you brought up. His thing is they can't trade Love. He's all we've got right now. But, geez, if they could get that package, Greenhardt and Aldrich and a number one, you'd have to think hard about it. I like the point about making OKC that much stronger since we are in their division. Love would be perfect for the Thunder, though. Hey, we are on a 2-game win streak. Might as well try not to think of this actually happening. Have you heard of any trade rumors besides the obvious Carmelo facilitator one? I'd like to see us move Brewer and give his minutes to Johnson and Webster. Now, no, there's no new rumors out there as we tried to, we were even looking at that just now. There is nothing new imminent right now, though. A lot of trades tend to happen at the last second that you'd never even thought of. I mean, we never heard Darko Milicic once until it was done. Yeah. It was like, okay. And that's how a lot of trades tend to happen. It's like, there's this huge rumor, there's this little rumor, there's this medium rumor, and then bam, this other one happened. Oops. Yeah. It happened. It wasn't a rumor, it just happened that we never heard about. And, but his final point right there is fantastic. Just fantastic. I'd like to see us move Brewer and give his minutes to Johnson and Webster. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. Brewer is in the way, quite frankly.
I'm even leaning towards, trading Beasley, but...
And that could be out there because the front line's defense sucks. Yeah. Is it safe to say that? I mean, it sucks. And Johnson at small forward could be really good. The defense would certainly improve with Johnson there, I think. And milk chocolate Wesley Johnson might be a stud if, put in the right position. He really could be. I think the possibilities are endless for Wesley Johnson in this league. Okay, maybe not endless, but I think he has a chance to be really good. Maybe kind of like a Ray Allen with that defense. Maybe.
I would rather him be a Pippen for us.
And that's kind of where some of the small comparisons come from, is more of a Pippen, kind of that point forward type of guy.
Yeah, if he could do fast break threes.
Defense, yeah. That'd be fun.
Like Pippen.
That'd be fun.
Chauncey.
Wouldn't that be fun? He'd be a huge piece. And yes, he would fit perfectly into that triangle with that style, because what offense did Scottie Pippen play in for many years with Phil Jackson? The triangle. Yeah. And how many championships did they win? 6. So, I mean, no, we're not comparing Wesley Johnson to Pippen, and we're not comparing the Wolves to the Bulls. But just saying, I think the success rate it could be very high for Wesley Johnson in the triangle when he put in the right position to be successful.
Yeah, and I don't mean to go back to Beasley, but
Beasley,
I noticed that he's not a black hole.
Yeah,
but he holds the ball just as long as Garnett and Jefferson. I don't know if you notice that.
He dribbles a lot, that's for sure.
He either dribble or pump fake. Mm-hmm. Which, for at least 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's weird.
That allows the defense to get settled in.
And that's not good. You have to have that quick first step or the quick release. You got to move. You got to get the ball moving.
Yeah.
Quick release either with the shot or the pass.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of learning to do. When he does that, it's like his IQ drops about 90 points. That's when you see 6 turnovers. And why is your small forward / power forward getting 6 turnovers? Yeah. It's not like he's a point guard, is he? There's no reason for that. 6 turnovers for your forward,
Yeah, I like the scoring that we get from Love, but I would rather it come from a shooting guard or point guard.
That'd be really nice. So the segue is official. So who is your solution for that scoring point guard for the Timberwolves? In a possible trade with Ricky Rubio going to a certain city. Now, who was it?
The Knicks.
Yes, the Knicks. And who's the point guard you want to get on this team?
Felton.
Felton. Raymond Felton. And we brought that up a little bit earlier, but now we're going to kind of close the show with this idea. If we have to trade Rubio to a certain team, I guess it's going to be the Knicks. Yep, that he's chosen that he would force our hand potentially to go to is the one team that you always hear about. They finally got a point guard that actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, and he can score.
Raymond Felton. I mean, do you see Raymond Felton improving the Timberwolves?
Yeah, I do. This is all assuming that they, traded for Carmelo somehow by not using us.
Yeah, not facilitating. Yep.
Yeah,
facilitation.
I think I will give them Rubio because I would rather us have a scoring point guard.
Yeah.
Or a point guard who could score like Felton, if we needed him to.
Yeah.
Because like Rondo when he first, the first couple of seasons, he, the defense, there was no one even near him because they knew they wasn't going to shoot the ball. Mm-hmm. And I think the same thing will happen with Rubio. So with Felton, at least it'll keep the defense honest, which will give the other guys on the team more open shots.
That'd be huge.
Yeah. So, but if we give them Rubio, I think we'll probably take on Curry. With the Rubio trade,
Curry, yep.
Yeah. With the Rubio trade, we'll try to get Felton. Randolph.
Yeah, that's where you finally get Randolph.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe Curry.
Maybe Eddie Curry, yep. More of that cap space thing. That's when you throw in some money. Yep, like potentially, like you were saying, Pekovic, maybe even Kufos.
Yeah, because they could need another center. They could use the center.
It would probably be Peck, I would think.
Yeah.
Probably be Peck. Brewer, maybe, shucks, that's kind of a tough one. Cause, I mean, Brewer, I think, would fit in pretty good at the Knicks, actually.
Yeah.
That Phoenix Suns, former Phoenix Suns coach, going to the guy saying too much again. Going to, Brewer getting that type of player, playing in that type of offense is kind of perfect for him, I think. Fast break, kind of stop, or not stop and pop, but kind of that, what do they call that? Run and gun, excuse me. I don't know why I'm losing my mind here. Yeah. Not because it's getting late, but run and gun style where, in his case, run all the way to the basket and dunk the damn thing, which Phoenix Suns did a lot of.
Yeah.
Brewer needs to start dunking again and stop laying the ball up.
Yeah.
That's making us a little pissed off. Now the Knicks would have the option to try to re-sign him, I guess, though unfortunately his contract is dead because of the Wolves declining the option for year number 5. Oops. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we definitely need a athletic center, and we'll get that in Randolph.
Would help.
Yeah, right now I think we overpaid for Peck.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, again, the old topic again, or not the old topic, but something that has been brought up a lot today. Special skills. Pekovic. He doesn't have any.
At all.
He doesn't have any special skills. I don't know what's so great about Pekovic that everybody was so excited about.
Yeah, I heard it, like a lot of guys saying, he's a bruiser.
Yeah.
He's going to dominate down low with the size.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
He has a little bit of energy. He looks like he has a good attitude, but you got to have some special skills. I'm not seeing any.
Yeah, I mean he's strong.
Yeah.
But none of that is leaving the ground.
Mm-mm. None of that is leaving the ground. I mean, it's
not like Shaq and Dwight's strength where like there's no way I'm going to try to block that shot. Just go snap my arm off.
Those guys, yeah. Whew.
Yeah, that's when muscles come into play. If you can, dunk,
yeah,
and is there someone to block your shot,
yeah,
then muscles come into play. But if you have really no athleticism, because if you back into someone, they're just gonna flop on you.
Yeah.
So the muscles aren't gonna do anything but convince the refs that you're strong enough to push the guy over. So there had to been a foul. Offensive foul.
Yeah. Oh, the infamous offensive foul.
Yeah. So that's all his muscles are gonna do is just attract fouls, offensive fouls.
Yeah. That's the other funny part, and he'll get those here and there. He does. Yeah. Especially when you're somebody like him that doesn't really stand out much, you're going to get snake bit with calls like that.
Yeah.
You're just going to, especially if you're over-aggressive. Pekovic is over-aggressive.
Yeah, Virgil's got a field day.
Yeah, Pekovic is over-aggressive. And Virgil, yeah, my God, the flopping phenom. There we go, that was a good one. The flopping phenom, Anderson Virgil, replaces Vlade Divac. All rights reserved. Copyright 2011. Okay. There. Oh man, sorry guys out there. I had to do that. That was fun. Oh man, I mean, it's one of those deals. Maybe the Knicks would like a guy like Pekka Nikola. Okay, sorry, Nikola Pekovic. Maybe they'd like him. Sorry for that, guys. That was bad. But he'd kind of be one of those throw-ins that might be a trade sweetener, maybe. I think he's NBA worthy. It's just the special skills part is lacking. Yeah, I was trying to say.
For me, throwing in Peck will be more saving us money.
Mm-hmm. Because he is kind of expensive. Jeez, like $3 million a year.
Yeah, and they're getting their point guard of the future.
And they want Rubio. They want him. They want him in his wedding gown, or wedding
take on
suit. I don't know. Yeah, and there you go. There's the. It's a thought. It's a thought. I mean, Felton's numbers really blew up this year in New York. Will that translate to Minnesota? Well, yeah. we hope.
Yeah. Plus Felton.
We hope.
I mean, he with New York when he resigns, it's going to be to a decent contract.
Mm-hmm.
But with Rubio, he might still be under the rookie scale, depending on
most likely. Yep. Yeah. And that's the big part too. That's huge. The new collective bargaining agreement. And when will that take place? That's the big part. That's where the temperature in this room just dropped about 15 degrees.
But I actually think that I believe that they might make a new rule named after Rubio.
Maybe, yeah, where they have to be able to come here right away to even start the rookie scale.
Yeah, because I doubt they're going to allow this. Someone else to pull this off again.
Yeah, because this is getting it's getting brutal. It was kind of blatant, wasn't it?
Yeah, because if you're in a draft and you're the first pick, you're not going to the best team.
No, you're not going to not necessarily New York was the best team, but a big city. You're not going to Chicago or Boston or Miami.
Yeah.
Like Boston and Miami, seriously, why would they even bring up Boston? Are they drunk? Seriously. Rajon Rondo happens to reside at the point guard position there, and he's a top 2 point guard. Are they insane?
Yeah.
Seriously. Yet, he's so worried that the Timberwolves drafted Johnny Flynn with the 6th pick.
Yeah.
So let's go play with Rajon freaking Rondo. I mean, oh man. I mean, that was one of the. It just either that proves the rumor is the most bogus thing in history, these people are the most bogus things in history. Like they don't watch basketball. They just say, "Oh, it's Boston."
Yeah, there's into location.
Yeah, like location, but not common sense. You know, the team. Miami, there's no way in hell you're going to get fair value from Miami to Minnesota unless you give us Bosh. Yeah, Bosh. I mean, you're not going to get LeBron or Wade, but Bosh, yeah, there's your center if you can be able to get him to play the damn position.
Yeah.
Or he's kind of a wuss, and he doesn't like to seem to really be a physical guy when you're going to need it from someone like that. Oh, it'd be nice to get LeBron or Wade, but no, that never happened.
Plus, Randolph's ceiling might be higher than Bosh.
Yeah, Randolph's. Ooh, that was a good one. Bum, bum, ba-dum. No, that would be nice. But according to David Kahn, Anthony Randolph's ceiling is higher than Kareem's. Because how much we hear, how much we hear about, and yes, we're talking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. According to David Kahn, no, that's not official, but when you hear the guy's name brought up every single week in a different trade rumor coming to Minnesota, they love Anthony Randolph. They love him so much that they fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. We'll leave that alone. But they can't wait to have him here, and we know he's going to be a Timberwolf at some point. Maybe by the deadline, maybe the summer, maybe 15 years from now. But he'll be a Timberwolf one way or another.
Yeah, I think right now we with the moves that Khan has been doing, we might be trading away Rubio just to get rid of the trim the fat, because that's what he's been doing since he got here, and I think that Webster might be part of that fat.
He could be, like, possibly could be traded.
Yeah.
Martell, I mean, it's a possibility. There's, again, like we've been saying this for 3 years now, there's too many players on this team that play the same position.
Yeah.
And Atlanta went through that trouble. Portland is currently going through it now. And how many championships or how close have either one of those two been to winning a title? Like, miles away, light years away. You get to the second round once in a while, that's great. But how about the third? And I don't want to be that kind of team when we're at our ceiling. That would suck. First round exits. I mean, we've been there and done that already. 8 straight years of first, or 7 out of 8 years we lost in the first round. That sucks. It's not fun. You just feel like you're getting teased.
I definitely think we need to somehow get a superstar. I think.
Yep.
If Carmelo goes to the Lakers or the Knicks, I think that we would have to try to get Chris Paul.
That might be another possibility at some point down the line. I mean, I don't know how long he's going to stay in New Orleans. They're the other bipolar team in the NBA. The Hawks are bipolar. And the Hornets are bipolar. Like, when they're good, they're really good. But when they're bad, they get creamed. Like, the Hornets lose to Minnesota convincingly at home. The Hawks get crushed. Yeah, again. Yeah, which is even funnier. And the Hawks get demolished by the Sixers.
They just lost.
And the Hawks lost? The Hornets lost again. Yeah. That's another update for you. I mean, they're very bipolar. Like, a good, talented roster, a nice record, but when they lose ugly.
Yeah, I think Chris Paul might be done.
Might be done there anyway. Yeah.
We have to go. We have to go for a point guard. I was hoping that Arenas would have been better on the Magic, so then we can at least try to pry
Jameer.
Jameer Nelson away from them. But since it's not going that way, I think they're going to hold on to him. So we have to go after, Chris Paul or
Mr. Felton
or TP.
Oh, TP.
Tony Parker.
Tony Parker, look at you.
Yeah, I actually thought he was older than what he was, but
he's young. Yeah,
it's going to be a free agent soon. So
that's right. Yeah, he is. It's running out. That is very true. There was rumors like galore about Parker going to New York at one point in time, and that, I guess, has seemingly died. The Spurs fell in love with George Hill last year, but they were kind of a mediocre team until they snuck past the Nuggets, I believe, in the first round, if I remember correctly. It was the Nuggets. Yes, it was. Denver looked like they were ready to rock and roll, and they got embarrassed. But Parker this year has blown up big time. Yeah. Oh, my God. He has blown up big time. Whew. George, it's probably because he's nearing that contract situation. That'd be a nice. I mean, yeah, we need a big-time point guard on this roster. That's the biggest thing holding the team down, I think.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's why I think the rumors about Khan, asking about Nash are true.
Mm-hmm. And that was the other thing. I'm glad you brought that up because we almost could have ended the night without that. That was an interesting thought. Tell the listeners about that one.
Yeah, well, I heard the rumor that we're calling about Nash, trying to get Nash from the Suns.
That's a very interesting rumor. Now that one would leak towards Rubio coming to Minnesota. That I do believe Khan still does have a strong faith that Rubio will play for the Wolves. Now this obviously, the Nash scenario again means Rubio coming, and that Nash should be the tutor for Ricky Rubio because what do they constantly compare Ricky Rubio to, or who? Excuse me.
Yeah.
To Nash. To Nash. Yep.
Minus the scoring.
Minus the scoring. I mean, maybe someday. I mean, Nash wasn't a good scorer coming in. Yeah. Nash was not a great scorer coming into the league back in the old days when he first started with Phoenix and then went to Dallas and then got way better and then got way, way better when he went back to Phoenix. Man, I still can't believe he's got 2 MVPs. Wow. But that's weird, isn't it? But that would be an interesting idea because what's one of the main things with Steve Nash, where he might be willing to do something like that, is because the Suns are done.
Yeah,
they're done. We were talking about this before the show. I mean, Steve Nash cried last year when the Lakers beat them because what was the reason?
That was it.
That was it. That was his last chance to possibly win a championship, unless somehow he gets traded to Miami or oh boy, that's a scary thought, but Boston or something. Nash in Minnesota would be kind of fun. It would be a lot of fun, especially if you have Rubio with them. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, I feel bad for Nash because again, it's like another, Kevin Garnett situation when he was here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're just, when Garnett was here, we're just squeezing the life out of him.
Mm-hmm.
We're just using him,
Yeah.
And he was so loyal that we would have just kept, we wouldn't have made any trades.
Mm-hmm. Until the Celtic rumors came out, that they were fact. And Garnett was kind of like, so I guess you're not loyal, so I guess fine, I'll go there. Especially being Ray Allen went to Boston. Let's get this done. And maybe Nash will do that with Phoenix. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Granted, unfortunately for Nash, it wouldn't be quite as happy of an ending for him as it was for Garnett going to Boston. That was a lot of fun for him. But it'd be fun for us here if, say, you have Rubio and Nash on the same team, and one guy can learn from the other. It'd be kind of cool. Yeah. It would be quite cool to see how that came out. So, Nate Lindholm, if you're listening, there is the other rumor. And sorry it came later, much later in the show than you may have wanted, some of you out there. It was one of those things. I didn't write everything down coming in, and it was nice that Marcus came up with that here. That was spectacular there on the fly. So there it is. That is a potential rumor out there. Did you hear about the pieces that would be involved in that deal, or more or less that were calling about him?
Yeah, we're just calling about him.
They were just calling about him potentially to be a mentor for Ricky Rubio of España, excuse me. Not Espanol, España. Joe, you fool. Okay. So with that, anything else you'd like to bring to the table? Any other rumors or ideas, thoughts about the Timberwolves?
That I hope we'll make some type of move before the deadline.
Mm-hmm. I do think something is happening.
Not a small move, a major move.
Something more significant. Yeah, I mean, and it's been awfully quiet over there, hasn't it?
Yeah, too quiet.
It's been quiet, and that can mean something's going to happen. I think something's going on.
But I want to keep Telfair.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep Telfair on the Wolves.
That's the cool part. Yeah, Telfair. Hey, some people you might be chuckling out there, some of you listeners, but hey, facts speak for themselves. He protects the ball. He hits his shots. Sebastian Telfair right now, the best point guard on the roster. And the cheapest. That's a nice combination.
Yeah.
Ridnour, the most expensive, and makes the kind of decisions mean, he's a solid point guard during the game, but at the end of the game, I just want to rip my hair out. It's painful. It hurts. It hurts. And Johnny Flynn, 1 minute looks like he might become a really good point guard, and the next minute he's throwing the ball all over the place, and you're just wondering, what is this guy on? What is he on? And how much did it cost? Because whatever it is, it's some strong stuff. It is some strong stuff indeed. It has just gotten really, really interesting. It's one of those endless deals. Now, Luke Ridnour also been missing time because of what's going on with his family. His wife recently delivered twins, and there are complications with one. And unfortunately, that has kept him close to home for the past week. That's the unfortunate thing with Luke Ridnour.
Yeah.
So that thing, we wish him the best in that.
Yeah, it's him and his family.
Mm-hmm. That's an important thing. So nice to bring that up here at the end, because hey, we do wish Luke Ridnour the best. It's about Luke Ridnour, the person here, the player. I like him as a player sometimes, and I don't sometimes. We'll say, especially late in the game. But as a person, hey, you know what? Family comes first, life comes first, and best wishes to Luke Ridnour and his family there. So very cool there, Mr. Forecaster, bringing that to the table. So with that, I guess that's going to be a wrap. But first, we are going to give you the contact details. Again, Timberwolves Explosion available on the sportstuff.com and on iTunes. So on the message boards on the sportstuff.com, we would like you to join those, that is. There's a button in the upper right-hand corner that says TSS Boards. Simply click on that, and then click Register, join those message boards, talk to a lot of NBA fans. I mean, there are so many cool fans of the NBA on the sportstuff.com, like Rusty, PMAC, all them good guys out there. The Crossover podcast, fantastic show on the sportstuff.com and on iTunes, always cool. And Rusty and PMAC are the hosts of that show. You got just so many other cool guys on there to talk basketball. They all know their hoops. They're all fun to talk to. They won't give you any crap. Because some message boards, there are a lot of trash talkers, but really, on that website, it's just all fun and good basketball talk. You might not always agree on everything, but you know what? In this world, you don't have to. And that's all there is to it. So do call into the phone lines as well. We need some callers here, dang it. 209-736-7877. 209-736-7877. Do call into the phone lines. We'd appreciate it very much. It is a voicemail. Do treat it as such. Mention you're calling into Timberwolves Explosion and opine. It would be terrific. So with that, we are going to bid adieu, and we'll be back for Timberwolves Explosion sooner rather than later, probably in a week. So take care, everybody, and we hope the forecaster returns sooner than later. Take care, everyone.